Imagine waking up one morning, your neighborhood transformed into a waterlogged wasteland, and a river that once seemed harmless now surging through your front door. This isn't a scene from a disaster movie. It's the heartbreaking reality for thousands of people across Poland. Homes submerged, lives turned upside down, and a terrifying question lingers. How much worse could it get? Join us as we dive into the dramatic events unfolding in Poland, where extreme weather has triggered catastrophic flooding, leaving a nation grappling with one of its worst natural disasters in decades. In mid-September 2024, Poland found itself at the mercy of nature's fury as torrential rains hammered the southwestern regions of the country. The picturesque town of Klodzko, nestled in Lower Silesia, became one of the hardest-hit areas. Rivers surged beyond their banks, overwhelming the defenses that were in place to protect local communities. What began as an unseasonably heavy downpour quickly escalated into a full-scale disaster, leaving both residents and authorities scrambling to cope. The Klodzko County, home to around 25,000 residents, faced immediate and devastating consequences. On Sunday, September 15, 2024, disaster struck with an intensity that few could have anticipated. The rivers in the area, pushed beyond their breaking point, poured into streets and homes, leaving entire sections of the town partially submerged. Emergency evacuations were ordered as water levels reached critical highs, but not everyone made it out in time. Tragically, the first fatality was confirmed when a resident drowned amidst the chaos, marking the beginning of a long, uncertain ordeal. The town of Klodzko wasn't alone in its plight. Across Poland's southwestern regions, rivers burst their banks, transforming once tranquil areas into waterlogged battlegrounds. Over 1,600 people were evacuated from their homes in Klodzko County as authorities warned of further flooding. Many were left to grapple with the tough decision of whether to stay or flee, with some underestimating the gravity of the situation. Poland's Prime Minister, Donald Tusk, addressed the nation, expressing the dire nature of the crisis. "The situation is still very dramatic," he said, urging residents to take evacuation warnings seriously. He also announced plans to declare a state of disaster and seek aid from the European Union. But this wasn't just a localized event. The floods that ravaged Klodzko were part of a much larger system of extreme weather that wreaked havoc across several European countries. Poland, along with neighboring Austria, Romania, and the Czech Republic, found itself engulfed by one of the heaviest rainstorms the region had seen in over a century. In Romania, rescue teams worked tirelessly to save those trapped in their homes, as some regions faced the heaviest rainfall in 100 years. Tragically, the death toll continued to rise, with 2 more people confirmed dead on Sunday, following 4 fatalities the previous day. Romanian authorities reported that over 5,400 homes had been severely damaged by the flooding, with villages like Pechi bearing the brunt of the destruction. Many residents, like social worker Sofia Basalik, lost everything. Her home was torn apart by the floodwaters, her kitchen appliances ruined, and her livestock gone. The devastation was widespread, leaving entire communities reeling from the sheer scale of the disaster. Austria was also grappling with similar circumstances. In a tragic turn of events, a firefighter died while responding to the emergency, underscoring the deadly risks faced by first responders in these harrowing conditions. In Vienna, water levels surged along the Vene River, while municipalities in Lower Austria declared states of emergency as the relentless rains showed no sign of easing. Meanwhile, the Czech Republic found itself similarly underwater. In the northeastern city of Krnov, up to 80% of the area was submerged. Local authorities estimated that more than 10,500 people had been evacuated since the beginning of the extreme weather. The town's deputy mayor, Miroslav Biner, painted a grim picture, stating, "Water is flowing over the whole of Krnov. The water is almost at the town hall. The square is 2/3 flooded." Despite rescue efforts, the damage in many regions continued to mount as the relentless rains persisted. Back in Poland, the town of Klodzko became a haunting symbol of the wider disaster. Streets once bustling with life were now eerily quiet, save for the hum of rescue boats navigating the flooded avenues. Garages, homes, and public buildings were left underwater, with little hope of immediate relief as the storm system, dubbed Storm Boris, continued its southward journey toward the Mediterranean. The damage was staggering, with local officials warning that it could take weeks, if not months, to fully assess the extent of the destruction. Across Europe, leaders expressed their solidarity with the countries affected by the flooding. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen offered condolences to the families of those who had lost their lives and pledged support to the nations struggling to cope with the aftermath. But for the people on the ground, the recovery would be a long and painful process. The flooding crisis in Poland and its neighboring countries serves as a sobering reminder of the increasingly unpredictable and extreme weather patterns we face in the 21st century. Climate change has made such events more frequent and intense, putting unprecedented pressure on governments and emergency services to respond. As cities and towns continue to deal with the immediate impacts, questions are also being raised about how well prepared Europe is for future disasters of this scale. For the residents of Klodzko and other affected areas, life will never be quite the same. Entire neighborhoods will have to be rebuilt, lives and livelihoods restored, and communities healed. But for now, as the floodwaters begin to recede, one thing is clear: Poland's battle with nature is far from over. As the storm moves on and the waters eventually subside, Poland and its neighboring countries will face the monumental task of rebuilding. The aftermath of this catastrophe will leave lasting scars, but the resilience of the people affected will shine through. What remains to be seen is how the country, and indeed Europe, will prepare for future disasters in a world where extreme weather is becoming the new normal. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing situation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story.